welcome back for another episode of the RK Football. And we are back again. We have David, Stuart, and Carl with us this week. Obviously, there's only one place to start, and it is at Stuart's beloved club, Liverpool. As everyone's probably heard of the statement that has come out from Mohamed Salah, saying that he does sound like he does want to leave Liverpool. If anyone hasn't heard the statement, I do have it actually here. And Stu will maybe put it up as a big thing so you can read it yourself as well.
Yep.
But it says, I think it was very clear that somebody wants me to take all the blame. I've said a few times before that I have a good relationship with the manager, and now all of a sudden we have no relationship. I don't know why. It seems like the club are throwing me under the bus. That's how I feel. This club I will always support. My kids will always support. I love the club so much and always will. It is not acceptable for me, to be fair. I don't get it. It's like I am being thrown more under the bus. I don't think I'm the problem. I have done so much for this club. I don't have to fight every day for my position because I earn it. I earn my position. I'm not going to lie. If I brought out a statement like that at my workplace, I would be kicked out of that bloody door within 5 minutes of doing it.
Or suspended. Like,
who the hell does he think he is? I'm not going to lie. Like, who do you think he is? Honestly.
It was baffling because obviously when I was I was, well, as we all were, like, kind of, okay, we'll talk about the 3-3 draw, what the problems we've got there and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden, like, what Mo Salah said, what? It's like he just can't. But what worries me a little bit is he seemed like he looked for it. He looked for a journalist, and he's kind of. Someone said it feels premeditated. Doesn't feel like off the cuff. It feels like he's like maybe on the day he's gone. You know what? If I'm not starting, I'm gonna go to the Brits. Like, I don't see what he's like. He's done it before, obviously when he was the contract situation, but it worked because basically he was in form and he was doing what he was doing last season. So it's kind of trying to get a bit more publicity to get maybe a move on with the contract. But this one, I'm just confused. All it comes across to me is he comes across as a player he's just basically he's not playing all the time and now he's not happy about it.
Yeah. No,
it's very strange. Let's be honest, it's pathetic because you've got a player who's been one of Liverpool's best ever Premier League players, not taking anything away from him of how good he's been over the years. But last year he was so good playing for his contract, right? And a lot of people were unsure whether Liverpool were going to give him a deal. I said on this podcast, for me, out of the three, Van Dijk, Trent and Salah, I'd have let Salah go because of his age and et cetera, and what potentially could happen. That's looking like a bad bit of business now for Liverpool, by the way. Giving him a new multi-million-pound deal. And then look at it this season, right? Mo Salah's probably had one or two decent performances this season. Let's be fair. He's been pretty shocking. And the reason that he's been dropped from the team isn't personal. It's because in Arne Slot's Liverpool system, the right attacking midfielder, that position needs to be impactful for the system to work. And when Mo Salah goes from a match winner to a passerby, he's going to be one of the first players out of the team. It's as simple as that.
He said explicitly, now I'm sitting on amongst all the other things that he kind of said, in and amongst that, he said, now I'm sitting on the bench and I don't know why. He does know because he's been sitting on the bench.
Because you're not performing. It's like
exactly. Yeah,
no one shocked. Like literally, when I think it was like with ironically, what was it early on, like in the season, we were kind of talking about should we drop Mo Salah. And the funny thing is, we just play. Obviously, I'm not saying that all of a sudden Mo Salah's out and we're like amazing again. It just means we're playing a little bit better. Like things seem to be working a little bit better. And obviously, you've got some people that have kind of got defenders saying, well, what about Kanate that's looked a bit off of a patchy? What about Gakpo? But with Mo Salah, you can drop him because there's more options in that right hand side that can do the job. On the left and then in defence, there's no real options to really. So we kind of have to play them because we've got nobody else.
I mean,
it's funny. Sorry, Carl, go ahead.
I was just going to say further than that. Mo Salah got his big contract in the summer and has not turned up since. And that is a player's mentality. That's not form, that's not grieving, that's not physical. That's a player's mentality at this stage of the season to have not turned up. How many times have we seen big name players. I mean, you got to remember, 12 months ago, Mo Salah was talking out in press because he didn't understand why he wasn't why Liverpool weren't giving him the contract he wanted, right? And then eventually they gave in to him because they needed to keep two of them, and Trent had already gone, basically. So they needed to keep two of them, so they kept Salah as well and gave him what he wanted. And now he's throwing his toys out the pram again because he's not getting what he wanted. It's really pathetic.
And even given sort of the form that Liverpool have been in the 3 games that he's been on the bench, I mean, I know that it 1 win and 2 draws, but they haven't been losing games, which is what Liverpool have been doing of late, and they've been doing something which they haven't been, which is getting draws, which is what we said they just need to start accumulating points where and when possible. I mean, so they have found some form, and the fact that he's saying, "Why am I on the bench?" Well, I mean, can you not see that things are slightly improving for your team?
Yeah, because a lot of people said watching the games, like, obviously if you go online, everyone's kind of going, "Oh, Liverpool." It's like, in these games we've been quite good at times. Yeah. It's just I think maybe like the Leeds game kind of proved that individual errors are kind of affecting us at the moment. That kind of affecting us in a way that kind of like, I don't think it's the system, I think's working in a way, but it's not as good as it could be, obviously. But yeah,
I mean, I have more issues with what he's saying. I feel like I'm being thrown under the bus. I'm not the problem. Who said he's the problem? Who's picked out Mo Salah and said you're the problem in this team?
The only
but they haven't. They haven't really. Is he blaming the media? No, he's blaming Arne Slot.
No, he's blaming them. But I think because the media's saying it, he's like kind of going,
but in his statement, he doesn't say the media's thrown me under the bus. He says the club's thrown me under the bus.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the thrust of what he's saying is kind of directed either indirectly or directly at the manager, at Arne Slot.
Is he the only person that's had to sit on the bench for a bit because he's not playing well in that Liverpool team? Let's be fair, he's not, is he? Look at someone like Hugo Ekitike's been in and out of the team because they've been trying to give other people's chances. Florian Wirtz got dropped for a couple of games because he wasn't performing. He's not the only one.
Yeah, and I was just like, what you would have thought as a experienced professional, you would think he would go, oh, okay. Like, instead of being like, oh, it's all about me, you would have gone, okay, I'm out of the team. What have we got to do to get back in the team, right?
Exactly. That's the mentality they should have, but they just don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
I'd love to know.
It makes you wonder. Like, it just makes you wonder how much was this his decision, him being Salah? How much was it his team's decision, if you like? I mean, people are comparing it to the whole Ronaldo Ten Hag situation, and I mean, you always try to find the positives in things. I mean, yes, what Salah did was selfish. Yes, he put unneeded pressure on Arne Slot. And it is kind of easy, I suppose, in a lot of these instances to go with the crowd. I mean, he's been getting backlash from people like Wayne Rooney, Chris Sutton, former Liverpool players like Michael Owen, who were really unhappy with what he did and came out on social media and said as much. But I always try to find kind of the positives, or not so much the positive, just kind of like, well, what was was there anything he could see that would have been positive to come out of it? And it looks like the real reason he did it, the only reason he did it, is because he's in an unhappy situation and he wants to leave, which was similar to what Ronaldo did. But I would say at least what Salah didn't do, which what Ronaldo did. And you mentioned, Stu, that what Salah did, it seemed kind of premeditated, which it did to an extent because he had quite a lot to say, didn't he? But at least, I mean, with Ronaldo, his interview with Piers Morgan, they had a set. They had a well-lit studio. Piers Morgan had a list of questions. They both put on their Sunday best. And it was just, to this day, I haven't watched that interview because I think that was just the most cynical piece of just awful, empty, soulless kind of, just, it was horrible. I hated it. It was made purely for views. There was no productivity in doing that whatsoever. At least Salah, and I mean, a lot of what Salah had to say, it was pure oil and it was this and that. But I think
childish,
at least he has
let's be fair.
Childish. Exactly.
Sounds like a 3-year-old that's not getting picked in class.
That's exactly it.
And it's only been a week. Like, that's why I don't get it. It's like you said, I haven't dropped 3 games. We're talking about there's been like 2, was it a midweek game? So basically, it's only been not playing for a week, and all of a sudden he goes nuts.
Well, that makes you think that it must have been going on longer. So, I mean, like, the relationship with the manager has been on the rocks for a lot longer than we might think. It could be the reason why the contract negotiations went on for so long last season. Possibly, it might have been a purely what Salah wants, what Slot wants kind of thing. That could have been one of the reasons it went on. But
Stu, what do you reckon people like Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson say to Salah when he turns up at training? Because obviously he went to go to training today and got, by the sounds of it, security took him out of there. From what I've read today, which
I
is
think that's a bit
bonkers. But
OT.
that's what Sky and BBC were reporting, that he was escorted off the premises.
Jesus.
So what do the leadership in that Liverpool dressing room say to Mo Salah? Do they back him? They can't back him, surely.
I don't see.
They've got to be disappointed, surely.
Oh yeah, because obviously, even yes, you could be disappointed with being dropped. No one, great football players don't like being dropped from football teams. It's you don't want to be dropped. But again, it's I think Van Dijk. If I was him, I'd just be sitting and going, oh, great. Another thing we've got to try and sort out after we're already getting criticism for everything else, like our performance from our results. But now we've got to deal with this situation. I don't know. I mean, if I was talking to him, I probably would, if he was Van Dijk, it's like, because it's been there so long, I would sit there and go, talk to him as a friend, sitting there, like, go, you either need to change, or like, something's got to change.
Say?
Yeah, but
the damage
you can't.
what can you say?
What
can you do now? It's like
Yeah.
the horse is bolted. It's like
buried the hatchet.
Unless he,
Yeah.
what the option is, like, I think what's probably happened now is, obviously, I think the hierarchy at Liverpool have kind of gone, well, we brought all these players in to kind of understand that we can't rely on Salah anymore, and then we kind of thought, well, we get another year out of him, and then we're moving on in the summer. But it hasn't. I think because it hasn't worked, in the sense of the system hasn't worked. Now they've gone to either you go back to what it was, get rid of the manager, or you go, you know what? No, we're double down on this. And I think that's what's happening here, where they've got
they absolutely can't get rid of Slot. That'll be brain dead. Let's be fair.
Really?
And to be fair, I don't want to say, because Stu's quite a level-headed Liverpool fan, which is good. But there are some Liverpool fans out there that are backing Salah, like right now, that are saying he would. How can they do this to our club legend? Right? In that interview there, in that statement that he brings out, does he want to talk about Liverpool's bad form and he wants the club to be doing better? Does he want to talk about the club? He doesn't. He talks about himself and his playing chances, and that's it, because that's all he cares about at that stage.
It was also bizarre because he brought up himself, like, he's told his mum and dad that he's coming to watch him at Brighton, and he's not sure if he's going to play. And I'm like, you lost me after that, like, because it's just like I'm like, I get it, but like that, like, there's difference.
That's professional football. Sorry, deal with it.
Yeah, like you want to be the first player where your parents come down and I was like, "Are you starting, son?" No, sorry, I haven't been dropped today. But I mean, I don't know. It's just another problem, that, a long line of problems that just, like, we don't need right now. Like, because obviously I would like to have talked about, like, yes, the 3-3 draw felt like disappointing, 2 points drop, but that's what I want to be talking about. But unfortunately, with the Mo Salah, that's overrided everything. To be honest, that's all you say.
You say it could be another problem, but it could end up being fairly cut and dry, because apparently Al Hilal are already in for a bid, or they're preparing a bid for him. He could be gone in a matter of weeks, and that could be that.
That's a
100
shame
million
way for a player to go in this fashion, though.
It's so sad.
Yeah, the door no matter, and then just let's go. Like Isak, Newcastle, he's gone. Let's forget about him and just move on.
Last season won 26 man of the matches. Like, he was insanely good last season. Like, that's a stat in itself that you just can't believe.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like two different players. 26 man of the matches performance last season.
Yeah, and this season miserable.
He probably hasn't been in a top 5 contention of the players on the pitch in any of the matches.
But would it be fair to say that he's 2025? If you take away the Premier League title, like, that he won, and just to talk about him individually, 2025 has not been his best year.
Ever since he got his contract.
Contract, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like, because suddenly he dropped off, didn't he, towards the end of last season, and everyone started taking him out.
Really trailed off, yeah.
Like that. The one player I do want to bring up, though, and I do think this is quite interesting, Salah is dropped. Like we spoke about, can Isak and Salah play together? And then all of a sudden, Isak started playing, and then Ekitike started playing, and Salah was the one that was dropped. And it, like Stu said, it does seem to be working. The one player they can't drop, who has, let's be honest, been not good for Liverpool at all, but they can't drop him, is Van Dijk. Because there's no one who you replace him with. That's
the problem.
And that's Stu's point with Salah, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got all these attackers that
are
ready for a chance. And that's why he wasn't dropped because, well, I don't like Mo Salah. That's not what Arne Slot said. He was dropped because we've got this player waiting in the wings who's doing really well in training, and we've got to get him in there. Who's the worst out of the three right now? Salah, Isak, Gakpo, whoever else is he's thinking in his team. Who's the worst?
Yeah.
Right now, it's Mo Salah.
Even if Salah thought that Arne Slot had a personal problem with him, he can't deny that he's been left out of the team for good reason, purely on performances. Even if there was something personal, you know, he can have a personal problem with him, and also think he's not good. He's not playing enough to earn a starting spot. You know,
I wasn't shocked, to be honest. Like, it's one of these situations when he wasn't playing. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god. It was like, yeah, that seems around about fair, because obviously, again, the perfect example. Before obviously he dropped for the 3 games, you had that game against Champions League, Frankfurt, when we played I think ping pong instead of putting Mo Salah. And again, obviously, you could say it was one of my best performances of the season. You could sit there and say when he wasn't starting. So I don't think it's anything against the player. It's more that he need at that point. They probably had a lot of emergency meetings, had talks with the people upstairs, and they're like, well, you've got to change something, because if you're not, we might have no choice but to. But so what he's done is he's gone, well, I've got to make the big decision. And I give him credit in a way, because not a lot of managers would do that. Like, sit there and go to one of the best players and go, I'm dropping you. Like, and he's done it.
It shows great character, strong character to do it.
And it turned out to be a good decision in the end, because their form has taken a slight upturn. You know?
Yeah.
I can't see a way back, if I'm honest. Because the way I look at it is, you look at the best managers that there's ever been in particularly in the English game, right? Fergie, Guardiola, Mourinho, Klopp as well. By the way, throw Klopp in there. If Salah does this to Klopp, he doesn't play for Liverpool again. Let's be fair.
And they did have a bit of a tiff towards the end, didn't they?
Have you not thought Salah's always been on the edge of something at Liverpool, when he's not always been having his own way? There's always been rumours.
I think that when he first came to Liverpool, he was Klopp the manager when he came into Liverpool.
Yeah,
he was, wasn't he? Yeah. So ever since he was there, and I remember seeing this post not too long after, obviously, the statement was released by Salah, and it was saying like, this is the manager that treated him with so much respect and everything. And I felt like saying, excuse me, he was one of the best players in his position for so many years, under one of the best managers in the club's history for so many years. Like, of course he weren't going to drop him. He was playing so well for so many years. And then when he's finally playing badly, of course you're going to blame the manager that's now there, because it's not Klopp. Like, you're blaming the one.
I mean, he did drop him. Like, obviously it was rare, but it was. I think I can't remember what game it was, but he did drop him at one point. Obviously, it only lasted a game, because then he was back in the next game.
Wasn't it Mane? Like, it was something between Mane and him.
Yeah,
they swapped over or something.
Yeah,
I mean, at this stage, let's be fair. And it's a big if, but if Arne Slot gets Salah back in and puts water under the bridge and lets him get away with it, is probably the best way to say it, without any meaningful disciplinary about it, Slot's gone within a year, because the players lose respect completely.
He has to go.
You can't respect a head coach that lets him get away with that.
No.
I see what you mean. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's just like it's like any workplace, isn't it? If you got like an employer talking to you like talking publicly about where you work, eventually there's no way back from that, really. I mean, you're either going to do what they're doing, is obviously he's not travelled to Italy with the team, or you let him go. But I don't see, like, he's going to AFCON. When he comes back, I don't see how, unless he comes out and says, like, apologizes. But even then, might be.
You come out and say what you said publicly if you're not looking for a way out. If you really want to stay and fight for the team, you say that behind closed doors, don't you? You don't come out and say that in public.
Well,
exactly. Yeah.
Again, it's that point of, if he really wanted to stay and wanted to fight for Liverpool, he would have talked about how Liverpool have been in bad form and he wants to change that.
Yeah,
didn't mention 4 months. All he cared about was his playing time.
But obviously, go on.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just it's first time in a very long time that was it Mo Salah's gone to AFCON, and I'm actually not worried that our team's gonna. Yeah, like that form's gonna dip, because it's only dipping anyway. So like, it's like.
Well, I mean, the one player I do have to say that looks like playing really well all of a sudden, and well, I say all of a sudden, he has been playing well and probably been Liverpool's best player this season, is Hugo Ekitike. Like, he scored 2 pretty good goals, and I think he was man of the match for me against Leeds. I thought he was fantastic in that game. attacking wise in that second half. Stu, do you think that Ekitike and Isak could play together? Like, if they do, maybe think like maybe a 4-4-2 could be introduced.
I mean, well, obviously we did. Again, we tried it once, and it kind of successfully worked quite well. I mean, I think the problem is at the moment is like, the only place I don't think you can play him if you wanted to play in the system we play now is you play him on the left. You play him on the left because he drifts that way anyway, as well. So like when he's where he plays, so it makes sense to maybe put him there. But you could put the situation of putting like going for a 4-4-2, but again, he's only tried that once. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think at the moment it's a situation of if you're going to pick by form, you're definitely going to put Ekitike. And when he's on the pitch, we just play better. He's hold-up plays great. When he's got the ball, he just does something with it. He's just every time he's got the ball, it's just.
He's so quick with his thinking as well. I know. Yeah. Like gets the ball straight away. He's looking for the next player.
Yeah, he's got energy.
He's a typical kind of Liverpool player that we used to like. We've been buying for the last couple of years, where he does the hard work and the hard graft for the team, but obviously he's always in them positions where and always creates something that can get goals. And obviously, he's, out of all the ones, everyone looks like a bit off it with the system. He seems like he's adapted brilliantly. And yeah, I mean, 2 of those goals were, obviously to capitalise on that long pass by was it Leeds for the first, and obviously the second one was to get into that position. Really good goals, but yeah, it's probably him and probably Szoboszlai probably been the 2 best players so far this season, I would say.
Do you think this whole thing might give Slot the chance now to tinker? Because to be fair, we all know that if Salah's on the pitch, Liverpool have to play a certain way to fit the way he plays football. Yeah. Right now that he's not on the pitch, they could potentially tinker to try and get the best out of Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, Gakpo all together.
Well, we're starting to actually see that because obviously, yes, you got the Sunderland game, but like Wirtz seems like he's starting to dictate games a little bit. And obviously Isak is obviously on the Leeds game. Obviously, didn't do much, but like when he came on, really, but like in obviously in the West Ham game, he was very like he was just finally getting those positions. But I think now maybe you might be right. A good idea is maybe with Mo Salah there, we can actually try and build a team that actually works for everyone in the team now. Because obviously with Mo Salah, as you said, we've got we don't have a team now that caters to the strengths of Mo Salah anymore. So that's why I worked last season, because we did.
Yeah. Well, who knows as well? Who knows as well? Salah might have been a bit of a disruptive element in the dressing room as well. So I mean, with him gone, it was again similar to Ronaldo with Ten Hag. I mean, you kind of think, well, actually, that's almost a relief in disguise, if you like. We can finally stop worrying about it and get this kind of negative, toxic element out of the dressing room. You never know. He could have been just in a strop the whole time, just bringing the team down.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't believe that. People say no, he's lost the dressing room. With those performances we've been playing, we're not playing like a team that is the player. He's lost the dressing room.
They're playing for the manager.
Yeah, you can see it because obviously we're not like I said. It's like we're not playing amazing at the moment, but there is last 3 games there has been a little bit of improvement. That I can feel that eventually we will get our form back. Yeah, but we're obviously then the 4 or 5 other defeats. You're like, nah, I don't see it. Where's the solutions coming from? But now. Yes, Mo Salah isn't the main reason why we haven't been playing well, but he's the easier option to drop.
Because these players were 100%. Sorry, Carl.
So I was just going to say, it does make you wonder that if some of Liverpool's problems this season have been maybe Slot trying to straddle the fence a little bit. Okay, we've brought in all these new players. We want to play a different way now, but we've also now got Mo Salah on a multi-billion pound contract. We've still got to play that way a little bit. Maybe that's why things haven't quite linked and synced.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing is, as we always said on the transfer, I think one thing that's been glaringly obvious in this game is we lack of defensive depth has been kind of found out really because obviously I was as we had on the transfer deadline day, I was devastated if we didn't get because I thought if we got him, very different situation.
Scored again, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, because obviously as much as I like Isak, I would have had to choose between the two. I would have Gahey because obviously again, great performance of the weekend as well. And if I think his style of playing the way he plays it'd be nice to have that option because then was it Konate, like he's been a bit patchy. You can actually drop him
It is
out.
easy. It's easy
Get
to
him
say that
out.
with hindsight, though, isn't it? Because at
Yeah.
transfer deadline
Yeah,
day,
I know.
we all went. But Konate was amazing last year. They don't really need to replace
Yeah,
him. And
Yeah,
actually,
I
I
get
can
it.
see
I
top of
get
the
Bates
it.
league as
Yeah.
well.
improving.
Weren't Liverpool still top of the league at that point as
They
well?
were.
So,
They just beaten
Yeah.
Arsenal, didn't they?
so I thought, well, they'll get him next. It doesn't matter. They'll win the league again. Blah blah blah.
No,
But I think
hindsight's
we
a real
need
thing, I
to
guess.
we do need to mention the opposition Liverpool had, Leeds. They have, let's be honest, they had Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool in their last 3 games. They've picked up 4 points and scored 9 goals
Yeah,
in those
unbelievable.
games. And a player that's actually shocked me a little bit with his form as well is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's picked up 3 goals in those games as well. Yes, okay, don't be wrong. In 2 of the games, the goals were gifted to him, but he's in the right place at the right time, and that's how you get those sort of
Starting to
goals.
see the play that we were all kind of like, obviously, was when, as we all forget, Carlo Ancelotti was the manager of Everton a long time ago.
Yeah.
We'll forget about it. But like when he was manager and how like he was finally getting him into this kind of turning into this like really good striker. But then again, injuries have been plighted him for ages.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's a
but
good run
I'll
of
be
games.
honest. I think we're getting ahead of it. Yes, they've had some really good results against big time opponents. So these players have turned up for the big occasion, beating Chelsea last week, 3-3 against Liverpool. Yes, they got 2 goals at the Etihad. But then you look at the fixtures before it. They lost to Forest away. They lost to Brighton away.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They lost to Burnley away. It's not
the results against the top 6 that will count. I mean, it's the teams around
just-
you need to be beat. Obviously, it's a
to be fair,
massive bonus if you
they
can
have
get
beat
points.
Wolves and West Ham, so we'll see.
I
We'll
get
see.
what you mean, but I think that Daniel Farke definitely deserves some credit. Heading in, he's earned himself a bit of credit.
It's an unbelievable run of games. So great for them. Yeah, but again, it's about
they got Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Sunderland next few games. And don't get me wrong, they are going to be tricky games. But if the Leeds show up that has been playing against these other sides, they could scrape a few points together.
I think they've got. I think obviously. I think they've, from what I've seen, obviously, and I know, yeah, it's what Carl's right in the way. Yeah, it's the big games. You're not surprised that these players turn up against the big, big, teams in the league. But
when the shop window and the TVs are on, yeah.
Watch Leeds. These next 3 games, watch Leeds not get as many points as they did in the previous 3 games.
Or goals as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Brentford 4, Leeds 1.
Yeah.
And then who say Palace, Sunderland? I don't know.
And is that
Sunderland
Dominic
away as well.
Calvert-Lewin on the score sheet again?
Yeah, but we're talking about the thing that I did. I think it was like was it the Man City Fulham game, and all of a sudden like Fulham score 4. It's like I was like I saw that and I'm like, am I believing my eyes? Like, so anything's possible this season.
Yeah.
I mean, what I will say is Leeds are gonna get there to the end, right? And at the end of it, they'll hope that luck's on their side, and they might just stay up. They're going to be in that. They're either going to be 18th or 17th. Let's be honest. That's where we're at.
We all have Leeds to get relegated.
I did.
I
honestly can't remember, to be honest, anymore.
Yeah.
I think I did.
But not scrape it, now when I think about it, because obviously
I think I didn't.
No,
I think I had Sunderland, Notts Forest, and
scrape it.
Burnley. I think I had Leeds just surviving.
one of us, I think it was one of us, picked one promoted side to stay up. I think it was. I can't remember.
I'm trying to find my
Burnley.
list. Hello.
I'm almost certain I had Leeds to stay up.
And I think Burnley was a bad choice.
I mean, I put all 3 of them to go down, so it's like.
Did you?
Hang on, I've got it over it. I actually had Leeds to stay up, and I don't believe.
So you're the one that.
Did I have Leeds to stay up as well, Kyle? I'm almost certain I did.
I know
Matt
who
had him going
is.
down. Stu had him going down. I don't have David's on here because you weren't part of the pod, was you, David, at that week?
Well, no, I put Nottingham Forest to be.
I'm pretty
18th,
certain I
no
had Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, and bloody Burnley. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think we'll move on to a team that I know that Carl would love talking about right now. A team that, let's be honest,
title challenges
against title challenges.
Do you know what? Let me ask
Arsenal.
that question, Matt, because about 2 weeks ago you said, look, Chelsea cannot be ruled out of this title race. Chelsea have to be considered title challengers. So at this stage, are you prepared to say that Chelsea are no longer in the title race and Aston Villa can win the championship? Is that what you're saying?
What I would say is exactly what I said back then, and that is that Chelsea could have been considered title challengers, but we could not be consistent enough and drop points in games we should have been winning if we want to be considered title challengers. Aston Villa have gone, is it 9 games in a row with victories?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And
something
not
like that,
only
Something like that.
are
Six
they
in-
winning
five in-
these
five in the league.
games,
Yeah.
they look impressive. And
Yeah,
they
it
look
looked
so
great.
hard to break down. I think that Martinez between the sticks with Torres and
Some of the saves in that game.
Konsa at the back, they just look so hard to break down, don't they?
It's
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'll be honest, and I've said this before on this podcast, and I don't know whether it's a style thing. I still can't quite remember the last time Villa played well. We're getting the right results, right?
Yeah, but it's dirty football. It's dirty.
Yeah,
football.
yeah. Look, we're effective. That's I think the
Emery
best way
ball.
to say it.
Exactly.
But
Emery ball.
we're not dominating games and playing amazing football.
No.
But you say about we looked no one would be able to get through us. Brighton put 3 past us in the week.
But then you scored 4.
Sure, but we've actually only kept. I'm just having a look in the league. 3 clean sheets this season.
Yeah.
But
4?
I think that the thing that's gonna if Villa are gonna be in this top 4 come the end of the season, the one thing I will say for sure is gonna get them in there is their different style of play. Because you look at Arsenal, you look at Man City, and you look at Chelsea, all those 3 teams are going to be teams that everyone's going to struggle to beat. But Aston Villa have gone to each one of those teams and play a style of football that none of them want to play against.
I mean, more than that, you got to look at it. Look, there are some Villa fans on social media getting ahead of themselves. We're not in the title hunt. Let's be honest, we're not.
You are.
We're not. But we're in a really strong position for the top 4 and for the Champions League again. Because when you look at it, we weren't beaten by Newcastle on the opening day when we didn't play very well. They're going to be in the hunt, right? Beat City at home. They're going to be in the hunt, obviously. And now we've beat Arsenal at home, who are going to be in that top 4 positions. We are beating the teams you want to beat in that situation.
But again, it's the same thing about the teams that, like, but it wouldn't be. It's a situation of like, but you could beat the big teams and all that. But again, it's the teams around you that you.
So at the moment, we are beating the right teams. We're beating Wolves at home. We're going away to Leeds and we're winning. We beat Bournemouth 4-0. We're doing that. How long it'll last, I don't know.
I'm with Kyle. I really don't see Villa sustaining a meaningful title challenge. But I mean, obviously, top 4 is a real possibility as well. But
I do want to point out that about 2 months ago, I wasn't on the pod about 2 months ago, but say I would be talking about how it's been an awful season so far, and we were sat in 15th.
A
lot can change very quickly.
Well, that's it. I mean, every week we're talking about our X now in the title challenge.
It's so close this season. I think it's like the idea that even
it's a great season so far.
Well, even how bad Liverpool being obviously at the moment. Obviously, we're not picking up as much points. We're still, I think, 3 points or 4th, unless or maybe a couple, but not even.
You are out of it. Yeah. Don't even try and even.
No, but he's.
I don't know. I
wouldn't talking about top 4. I'm talking about the title challenge, mate. Like, I'm just saying that we're not. Well, you say that, but then obviously it's quite. It's not obviously title talk. Yes, it sounds crazy for me to say that right now, but like the idea is basically it's really close. The league in general just
top 4 Stu is perfectly realistic. I think for Liverpool if they can.
I actually agree about
pull the finger
not ruling them out.
Well, it's just the idea. Obviously, if we're going to talk about it, it's like the idea that basically like how many team like what was it on the top? It was like obviously we were top, then we had like our 5 point, and then when that's been reduced, and Arsenal were top, and now that's reduced from like 5. I think it was 7 at one point maybe, and it's gone down to 2.
The worrying thing for Arsenal right now is that they look a bit clueless at the back, but because of the injuries they've had, and now they've got obviously Calafiori suspended for their next game as well, it looks like they could easily slip off that top.
I'd say it's this sort of talk that Arsenal fans are doing that they need to stop, because to be honest, my biggest advice to Arsenal fans watching this that are annoyed about the weekend, I'd just say stop panicking. You've lost to the form team in the country,
but also you've got Wolves. Was it? I checked the fixtures. Was it? They've got Wolves next weekend, and obviously
Wolves next weekend, Everton away,
and then Man City have got Palace at Palace, so they could go back 5 points if the way things are going. So,
but this is true.
We got to remember, but we got to remember that 2 weeks ago they beat Bayern at home in the Champions League. Like that team, they're still a top team. They beat 3 days before. They put 4 past Tottenham and demolished them, and we were
Yeah.
talking about how good they were.
Don't get me wrong, they have looked very impressive. I'm not saying that they haven't, because I have thrown a lot of praise their way. But you can't, like the Wolves game. You think they're going to win that? But you seriously telling me that they're going to go to Everton and pick up a win? Like they probably could.
100%.
Probably could. No, see, no.
100%.
I don't know. Everton's been a bit
on paper, 100%.
Very good.
Well, Everton's been a bit fake. Obviously,
All right,
doing all right at the moment,
100% probably a bit harsh on Everton, but I do believe they'll win. And the reason I say it is because the best Premier League champions, you look at Pep City, you look at Fergie's United, Klopp's Liverpool, etc., right? They don't let one loss derail the season. It's one loss.
I think it's understandable for Arsenal fans who will have some residual PTSD from previous seasons of kind of letting things slip, so that and it will seem like the worst thing in the world, and they will start to catastrophize that any points dropped now between now and the end of the season, Arsenal fans will start to panic. And I think that the defensive injuries is an issue. I think missing Gabriel and Saliba is a problem for them, because I think their interims, their replacements aren't quite anywhere near the same level as those two that are missing. But it'll just be the case that any points that are dropped now, particularly against, I mean, I know Villa are a top side right now, but I mean, any mid-table maybe kind of draws, this and that, there will be that panic that starts to set in, particularly if City keep winning.
They've been it before. That's why. That's because it's like, again, it's like,
go on.
They got to get at that mentality, though. That's what I'm saying. This is what Arteta is saying.
It's
not.
That's why they need to get over the line this season. This has to be Arsenal. I know we've talked about Arsenal have to win the league this season. I'm sorry, they have to do it. Otherwise,
at this stage, it would be
best opportunity they've had in a very long time.
It would be a Steven Gerrard style slip. Let's be honest, it's the best way to say it. But it would be a similar level to that at this stage, especially when you look at Arsenal's running. By the way, I'm just having a quick look out of interest. 3 of the last 4 games: Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home.
Their last games of the season.
3 of the last 4. The last game of the season is Crystal Palace away, which is difficult.
Do you know what? There's a banana skin
then.
in there. Surely it has to be. Especially if they're
hopefully for them.
Ooh,
I guess they're hoping the league's done up by then. Hopefully.
I think it will be.
I think the important thing right now is that Arsenal tried their best right now. Like I get what you're saying about the whole thing of don't let one defeat derail you. I do get what you're saying there. But the problem is that these teams you were talking about that said they've been really successful, they don't let it derail. They weren't sitting there having lost two of their best players in Gabriel and Saliba. They've just lost their 2 best defenders without a shadow of a doubt.
And it was a bit of a...
I don't know how long they're out for. Like they out for a bit of time.
They've got some injuries.
The teams get injuries. It's not. I mean, City were missing De Bruyne for large parts of their.
But for Arsenal injuries, but then you could then argue that Rodri, when he got the injury, City fell off. They were top of the table before that point.
But I guess it's different with the City situation. Because the whole system worked for him when he didn't. It wasn't there. The whole system crumbled. But I see what I mean.
The important thing is, and this is where I do agree with you, Carl, is that because I said Arsenal to win the league, so for me, like just for bragging rights, I have to be right with this. They cannot now lose out.
You just have to adapt though. Injuries are as natural in football as wind is in golf. It's just part of the sport. You just have to adapt.
I think what this also proves is this season going to be the one where they finally get over the line with mentality, as you said. Like, 'cause obviously we've seen it before when they've had slip ups, then they go on a bit of a drab run. Like, is this is this Arsenal, like, have they finally learned that maybe, like, okay, let's calm down, go, go to, who you got in the Champions League? Was it, I think, Club Brugge, I think, might be one. Yeah, so they're like, go there, get a win there, get back on the winning ways, and then get back on, I don't say back on the horse, but like back on winning ways. But then again, it could be, but then you could situation that we have a draw, this defeat here, and then they go in Champions League and drop points, and then it's just like, that could start a thing, but we'll find out.
Do you think
this is why I'm saying it, and I'm not saying it in a way of being arrogant, and I understand I'm sitting on my high horse right now because Villa are playing really
for the most arrogant
football,
statement ever.
Right? but it's not like they've gone and lost to bottom of the league Wolves 4-0.
Yeah, exactly.
They've lost at Villa Park against the form team of the country.
But you're not
Yeah.
title challengers, Carl. So
We're
like,
not
they
title.
should
We're
be
not
this
title
year.
challengers. We're not. We're not. I can admit
Should,
that.
No, I
should,
agree.
should I put that as the thumbnail on the podcast? That was, Aston Villa
Yeah.
title challenges.
No,
So
don't do that.
because the last one I put Chelsea one, and I instantly regret it after I put it now, because now it's
And
like
then,
that statement
Leeds.
becomes so in void.
Yeah. But the one thing that I would say, and this is without a shadow of a doubt, Gyökeres is, I don't think like it works for me.
It's
I
been
don't think it
it's
works.
been 4 months. It's been
Been
4
months, and I'm not
And
seeing.
he's been injured as well. I mean,
I'm
you
not
know.
seeing it.
Well,
Yeah, but
because
we did a list, right? We did a list about these best signings. We all agreed that players need time. The best players this season were signed a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They're
No, I do
bedded
agree
into the
with that, but-
system. They've learnt the tactics that the manager wants them to play. You've just got to give these players. Same with Sesko at
completely-
United. I know there's
I
some critics.
completely
you've
understand.
just
And
gotta
he has
give him
scored
time.
goals. You know, he has
Yeah.
bagged a few. You know, he's not
I
done
completely
absolutely nothing.
understand that, but there's this hold-up play that he tries to do, but that's not how he plays. He doesn't play that way. He never did at Sporting. He was a player that would try and run at defenders and try and beat.
Yeah, but he was playing in the Portuguese league.
and also he's
And no offense to those Portuguese league, but the Premier League's a different battle. So Arteta's got him playing in a certain way, and yes, some of the time it's not coming off because maybe he's not quite equipped to do that yet.
but it's not affecting the team. That's the bit. That's the okay with it. It's like the idea that he's not scoring, he's not really producing as much, but Arsenal are still top of the league by like.
I'm
The
sorry,
thing
but
is, Matt, we know you're a Chelsea fan, and we know you expect short-term results. That's why you have the managerial history you have. But sometimes you have to give it time.
I
That's it.
understand
And as well as that,
but-
with Mourinho deputising, you know, how good has Mourinho been, by the way? You know, deputising for Gyökeres, you know, blessing in disguise. I mean, you talk about people like Kai Havertz coming in for Arsenal, and people, you know, the fans are really down on Kai Havertz, but he actually produced quite a lot of the time for Arsenal, you know. So Mourinho might have a similar effect this season. He already is. He's getting a bunch of goals, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how the festive period pans out. Fingers
Oh,
crossed
yes.
for Arsenal, they do get through this period and they're still sitting top. If they're still sitting top after this festive period, then like I think people will start to go right now. Let's seriously.
Well,
think-
top
do
by
you
1
think
point or
if-
top by 12 points. Well, it doesn't matter. They'll bottle it either way, won't they? I mean, even though I want them to win, I predicted them to win. I mean, you know,
Well,
so I'm
but
all
but
for
me and
Arsenal
David
winning
have
the
to
league.
get
By
this
the way,
right. Me and David have to get this
exactly,
right.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what I'm intrigued to happen is, it's like, do you think as Arsenal, like, if they are not top, or like they lose that lead at any point in the next couple of games, do you think that was it? Because obviously, if they're top and then they extend the lead.
If City get ahead of steam and they just start winning game after game,
Yeah.
it
Well,
will
I mean,
demoralise
I was
Arsenal
going
to
to
the
say
point.
this.
You know,
It's worth bringing up because City right now are a shark just in the shallow bit of the water, just going about their business, playing really good football, getting the
Yes.
results.
Turkeys, it's
And-
it. Did you see
and-
that?
yeah, and they're starting to, and Haaland is starting to not do anything in games in which they're actually still winning. So that, you know, that's other players are starting to contribute goals now as well. Foden coming into form as well.
Phil
So that's a
Foden's
danger.
remembered he
good
can
God,
kick
that
football.
assist.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Man City, yeah, if they do get on the run, but I do still look at this City side and go, like, I get what you're saying, Stu. If Arsenal drop off the top, will they be able to get back up there? I think with this City side, yes, they could, because I don't look at this City side and go, they're going to go on a
Yeah, they still
8-10 game winning
yeah,
streak.
they
I
still
look
look
at it and
vulnerable on the back as well, because
Yeah,
obviously
they-
someone I think.
yeah, a team like Bournemouth or I'm just trying to think, Everton or someone like that could easily just catch them off guard, and then they've like picked up a draw
Yeah,
off of them or a win. So I do look at them and don't think.
I think we have to, obviously, I guess in this now, unless some drastic changes, that obviously City are their main rivals now, right? Like, there's you would say between those two, like if it being realistic,
Oh
like
yeah.
between those
and
two.
Villa.
It's just
All
look,
I'm saying,
I'd love it to be true. I'd love to be in a title race. Don't
Yeah,
get me
it's just
wrong.
not.
but
but
it's just not.
Our aim is to get back in the Champions League, and we look on course for it.
The
So
top
I'm a
four
happy bunny.
isn't even a guarantee, let alone a title race. So yeah, no chance.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, we've got to talk about City. City were fantastic yesterday against no, yeah, was it yesterday? No,
I
Saturday.
mean, you say we got to talk City. We could. There isn't a lot to say. That they're a very good football team who are playing good football right now.
But
And-
Shirky, I think, looks like the
What
real
about
deal
that
so far.
assist?
Oh my god,
Ooh.
that's ridiculous.
Love that.
The confidence and the arrogance, sit there and say, no, I'm not going to
Love
cross
it.
it. I'm
Love
going to
it, yeah.
use my other foot to flick. Oh, it's just. I mean, obviously, as much as I have my thoughts on City, I can't sit there and look at that assist and go, like that's just quality. That's
When
good.
those come off, they're just beautiful to watch. They're just.
But when they don't come off, it's hilarious. isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
Oh, no, another
years ago that done it. That Birmingham City player. I can't think.
David
Oh,
Dunn.
Damien Dunn.
David Dunn.
Dunn. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
tried it and he actually. I remember
He
that.
just flipped over, didn't he?
I think my favorite one was Lamella's one. It was unfortunately during COVID when there was no crowd, but the Lamella one for
yes.
Tottenham against Arsenal
Yeah.
through the legs as well. But there
Didn't
was
it
no
win the
crowd. So
Pushcas Award that year?
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did.
Joe Cole loved him as well, didn't he? Few crosses.
He did.
Yeah,
he did love a
yeah.
Babona, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, and Neymar as well. But yeah, I think that Shirky, he's looking like the player that everyone thought he would, that City had signed. Like
He was my player to watch.
Yeah,
He's took a bit of
Yeah.
time to fit into the system, and now
Yeah.
he's just starting to show the signs. I wouldn't say he's quite at the player that we expected. Same with
he's getting-
Reinders. They're just showing signs of the ability they've got at the
If they
minute.
get up to the, if they get up to the full again, if they get up to the potential that we think they've when they bought them, again they're still City. Whatever their defensive lapses, they're still going to be a very dangerous side. And
This is it. It's crazy to think that we're saying this City team are not at 100%. I feel like they've got the handbrake on a little bit at times. I guess is the right way to say it. The players aren't quite flying, right? They're only 2 points off the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they could go full pelt,
It honestly,
as
it
much as
feels
I'm
like they're
saying
chugging
Arsenal
along at
fans-
like 65% or something. Like
Yeah.
they're just nowhere near their best. Like
As
it's
much
just
as
scary
I'm
for
saying-
Arsenal.
Well,
As much as I'm saying Arsenal fans shouldn't panic, that would scare the hell out of me. That City team 2 points behind me.
and also they know they've got a lot of those players know how to win a league as well. Because obviously, like everyone knows about title races. When you win a title race, you just want to stay there until like the last couple of games, just like be close enough, and then just as you said, put on the accelerator and just like go for it. And I think that's what City are going to try and do. Just like maybe not go like maybe got top, but just like stay in the hunt close enough, put a bit of pressure on, and then.
By the way, how big does Man City Arsenal at the Etihad look on the 18th of April?
Oh, that could be the
I
title
just
decider,
hope,
couldn't it?
even for the sake of a
another
good title race. Yeah, I just hope it's a close.
yeah,
It's
let's hope
not
it's
like,
still as close
and,
as it is,
I actually
just
think.
hope it's
I mean, because I'm looking at these fixtures, I think City will hope it's not, and that they can pull ahead because City's last two fixtures are Bournemouth away and Villa at home.
Ooh, that's not easy.
What, Villa at home again?
Villa could have a say in the title race.
Villa at home
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Do you always get Villa at home? It's like we always got Wolves at home. What is it? The same mixture.
I'm intrigued now. Who have you got at home?
Oh yeah,
But
Who have you
the
got
one,
last game this season?
was that when
Anyone
Coutinho scored
can-
Coutinho scored the second and the 3-2?
Yeah. You got Brentford at home this time.
it was Ilkay Gundogan,
okay,
wasn't
that's
it? He
right.
scored the goals. To
We
win
got the
cup.
winner. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But did anyone see Ruben Diaz's goal? By the way, like
Oh,
it was
the screamer.
like,
What the
yeah,
half
everyone
screamer
was
that took a
saying-
deflection.
yeah, everyone was saying, "Oh, he's rolling back the years like Van Zoon Company against Leicester," and I watched the goal and I was like, "It's a humongous deflection on
Yeah.
it."
And
Did you
at first
think
glance,
about
it did look like an absolute
I mean,
screamer. There was like, no, it's took a wicked
I
deflection.
have to
I'll
admit,
never mind.
if we're gonna talk about absolute ridiculous goals, we've got to talk about that. Was it when there was at Newcastle or Burnley one? Was it from the corner?
Oh, Bruno Guimaraes, what a goal!
Am I the only one that like when I saw that goal, I was sitting there thinking, is anyone? I mean, minutes might be going back, but like just after David Seaman, I think it was in a game against England of him, Macedonians. Like basically, when they scored from the corner, absolutely loved him. And when I saw that goal, I'm like similar goal, but like I can't remember last time I saw
a goalkeeper should.
Dougie
never
Luiz.
be like
Dougie
that.
Luiz did it twice in 2 weeks for Villa a few years ago. Crazy. Did it at the Emirates. Did it at the Emirates. And then he did it against Bolton a week before, and everyone's like, "How has this happened again?" Like,
You know what I thought he meant in the Premier League 2 weeks on the bat a week.
No,
like,
he did it. He did it in the Carabao Cup against. He did it in the Carabao Cup against Bolton, and then a week later, midweek game, he went to the Emirates and did it again. And all the Villa fans are like, "Does the Arsenal keeper not watch us or something?" Like, how has it happened again?
But what was it? I love the. I don't know if any of you watched Match of the Day, but obviously you got the corner, scores it, and then the presenter goes, "Oh, did you know it's the 20th time that's happened in Premier League history?" And Dion Dublin just goes, "Well, yeah, the Premier League is quite old." It's just like,
Whoa,
just brilliant response. It's like, yeah, it's not that impressive. But yeah, I think
Great guy.
Newcastle picked up a bit of form as well. I think Newcastle do look pretty good as well. Do you think Ramsdale, Ramsdale started to play a couple of games now as well, isn't he? I've
Yeah,
noticed.
Pope's injured.
He's injured, yeah.
It would be interesting to see if he can stake his claim for that number 1 spot, like while he's out.
Yeah, see, you
For the
say
number
that,
1
I'm
spot?
not
Oh,
convinced.
no chance.
I'm not
No
convinced because there are some games he'll pull off some incredible saves, and there are some games where, for example, Christian Romero can shin an overhead kick and he bounces 6 times into the bottom corner, and I'm just
What was that?
do you know what I mean?
was
That's not a goalkeeper that gets you into the top 4.
Well, I mean, am I right in thinking, like, as well, he's been relegated 3 times from the Premier League?
Yeah, but
Am I
that's
right?
unfair. That's unfair. That's
Is it unfair? He's been their
Because-
starting keeper.
Yeah, but
That's like Brad Guzan all
he's
over
20.
again,
Yeah, but he's
right?
27 years of age, right? And all he
Yeah.
cares about in those seasons are experience and playing football.
Okay.
So yes, he went to Southampton last year and went down. But
Yeah.
do you think Aaron Ramsdale give a damn that Southampton went down?
I think he does when you're
I
playing
don't.
for him.
I
but
don't.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, he was desperate to get out of there, wasn't he?
You
Like,
got
And
to
also,
think, mate.
hang on.
See you
Don't.
later.
I'm not having any Brad Guzan slander at all.
He was half decent,
Well,
Brad
I'm
Guzan.
just
I like Brad
saying,
Guzan. He was all right. He was all right.
You ask
No, it was-
ask any American soccer fan. Oh, I hate it.
Football,
right.
Donald Trump is in football.
Brad Guzan is the best American goalkeeper they've ever had, is what they say. Over Brad Friedel, over
Tim Howard. I think Tim Howard would.
No, I mean, yes,
Guzan.
Tim Howard was good, but it's Brad Friedel. Let's be fair. Brad Friedel is the best
Brad
American
Friedel
goalkeeper
was,
they've ever been.
yeah.
Small score update. United are 1-0 up against Wolves. Bruno Fernandes. So that's good.
I've got him in my team.
Yeah, I took him out. Oh, God. Oh, no, it was in Mbembo I took out, so I hope he does nothing.
But yeah, I mean, Wissa, obviously he got a start, didn't he, as well? So, well, not a start. He came off the bench.
Yeah, he's back.
little bit,
He's
so
made
good to see
his debut finally.
I'd forgotten he was signed.
Yeah, I know. Right?
That could be a huge plus for them. Obviously, him coming back from injury.
Well, you got to think, Wolvermade, obviously he's been contributing quite regularly as well. So if Wissa can get on the score sheet as well,
I think he's going to find it hard to get back into that team a little bit at the minute because Harvey Barnes is playing really well. We've seen Murphy put in some really good performances. You also remember they signed Jacob Ramsey, who plays in those sort of positions as well. So it's going to be difficult for him to get back in. Luckily, because it's Newcastle and they've got Champions League and they've got cup competitions, he'll get the chance to stake his claim.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I think one thing we do need to mention after Carl's little cameo last weekend is Tottenham after their 2-0 victory against Brentford. A player that I actually didn't think would actually do that well at Spurs suddenly comes out with probably one of the performances of the season by Xavi Simons. I thought he was
so this is exactly why I think I got so sort of heated about Tottenham last week, right? Because I knew full well, and I said it, there's a decent team in there. They will have some really bad weeks. They will have some really great weeks. And this was a really great result for them, to be fair, because they're a Brentford team that have been overperforming, that people have found difficult to play. And Tottenham just made it routine. It looked like a top 4 team playing 10th in the division and going, I'm just going to win 2-0, job done. It was so uneventful and just sort of, yeah, they're going to win the game. That's it. And that's the best compliment I can pay them. That is the performance and the team that Tottenham fans can look forward to in the future. That's what Frank's trying to make happen 7 weeks out of 10.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen though recently, does it? I was not convinced Tottenham were going to win that game at all. I was convinced at least a draw. Even when they were 2-0 up with like 20 minutes left, I thought surely somehow Brentford find a way back into this because I mean, come on, it's Spurs at home in 2025 who've been miserable. But in fairness to them, they got the goal. They got the win rather. But Yeah, I wasn't convinced by them at all before the match, but just purely given their home form. But I mean, fair play to them, they got the wins.
If anybody knows how to beat this Brentford team, it was going to be Thomas Frank, though. That should be said.
That's fair enough. Yeah, sure enough.
The one play they did keep quiet though was Igor Thiago, and I thought I played my wild card this week. I went brave because I was starting to fall apart, and I was like, no, and I kept Igor Thiago because I thought this guy is going to score against Spurs, and they kept him quiet all blooming game.
Yeah. I thought he was going to get a brace.
Even in my team, even Highland was like on a quiet one. So it's like all the because like midweek I was absolutely killing it, and then obviously in the week it's like it was like, oh no, back to reality. I think it was.
I don't want to brag, but I had we talk about City are just under the in the shallow end of the shark. That's me in our fantasy league right now. I am bubbling away. So I purposely I bit the bullet in the end because I was terrified that I was going to take him out and all of a sudden he'd start to be a good player. So I took Salah out the team, bit the bullet, put Foden in, and it paid off.
Well,
paid off.
That's me in the Super Six. Hey, I'm coming up there. I'm coming for you, Stu. I had a tremendous week there. 10 points.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously. Yeah. I mean, with that one, it was all a situation after Matt decided to show me his predictions, put it in the one group.
Yeah, you know it.
Can we end the episode by talking about the World Cup quickly because it's I mean, I'm assuming none of us sat and watched the FA Cup.
You couldn't have paid me to watch that. You couldn't have paid me to sit there and watch that. I'm sorry. I'm reading about it afterwards. I'm glad I didn't.
They're not even trying to hide how crap they are now. They used to be able to act a decency. It's just like I like the idea that you've got the stuff for Trump and all that stuff. You're like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching any of this. I'll just do what everybody else does and just wait until the end and then just see who we got and then move on.
Further than that, it does feel like, and I should say this, I'm not saying I know that they've fixed the draw, but it does feel like the fact that we are likely potentially to get Ronaldo versus Messi in the knockout stages is interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Also, I mean, I'm not going into the Trump of it all because not worth it.
It's not that podcast.
Let's talk about the World Cup final having a halftime show, Super Bowl-esque. That's
who's performing. Who's performing?
I don't think they've decided yet.
Well, why am I asking that? Why does it matter?
No.
So my question is, the Super Bowl halftime show is like a 45-minute thing, right? Maybe to an hour.
It just goes on forever.
Stupidly long.
Interminable. Yeah.
They've got 15 minutes. And once you've got players off the pitch and also that first bit where they need to get back on, you're talking sort of 12 minutes.
Yeah, it won't be 15 minutes. It'll be they'll extend it for half an hour if they're doing that. Nonsense.
Yeah, but they can't because players need for the players' physical condition.
It's their show.
Facilitate it somehow.
You can't just decide to have a half an hour halftime because
you're talking about a president.
You can. It's FIFA.
Infantino does what he wants.
Donald Trump was celebrating the Chelsea players when we won the Club World Cup. Like he was like,
what?
When we won the Club World
Cup,
Chelsea won the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
What is that?
But he was standing there with all the players.
Oh, it was just so bad.
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, he will facilitate this in some way.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think he will. They'll force it in somehow. Like, oh
we
god,
have
it's gonna be the
one
worst.
World Cup where we don't. It's not somewhere that's got some political
corruption. Yeah, Qatar, Russia. The last one with nothing was like Brazil 2014, and there must have been something then. Surely,
I mean, there was like protests and stuff, but it was more because
it wasn't
the World Cup
nearly as
but
bad.
It wasn't anything. Yeah. I'm just like, I just want to watch football without having to think about.
Yeah, 2010 had the horns, the Jubilani horns.
Oh,
this is what I was going to say.
Vuvuzela, that's what it was. Yeah.
You can't even say the 2002 World Cup because we had that whole controversy with the refs, didn't it? So it's like, So like, when was the last World Cup that was actually like you didn't feel like something's dodgy going on?
That was morally clean. We didn't feel guilty about watching that.
So the draw sort of had ups and downs for me in terms of the actual football of the draw, right? The up is a rematch for is it South Africa and Mexico? Is that
if Ireland can get through the the playoffs, that's what our group would be.
But so South Africa and Mexico was the opening game of the 2010 World Cup, and Tshabalala sending everyone crazy.
Yeah.
We get
it was
the
ended 1-0, didn't it?
rematch.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
So that's fascinating.
Well,
but then I look at England's World Cup group and I think, again, really? Croatia? Panama? Again?
Who's the last one?
I'm just loading it up. But that's how unforgettable it was.
Ghana.
Apparently.
Ghana. Sorry, Ghana. Yeah,
Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ghana's kind of new, admittedly, but Croatia and Panama again.
Yeah. We've already had the England-Croatia rematch from the 2018 semi-final, and we had that in the last World Cup. So
we've played them. We've played them at the last two major tournaments.
Yeah,
and now we're playing.
It's becoming like Liverpool and Madrid now, isn't it?
Then we absolutely stuffed her. Was it Panama? Like we done them like
6-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was
Kane hat-trick.
But I just got a quick question for you guys as well. Do you think that this whole expansion of the competition, allowing more teams into the competition, do you actually think it improves things? Because for me, I just think no, it don't improve things.
In terms of the actual level of the football, I mean, World Cup isn't really about beautiful football, is it? I mean, it's more so, and you do see it's more about the side stories and things like that. It seems like, was it Caracau, however you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Teams like that getting in for the first time, Cape Verde getting in for the first time. It's kind of like that, you know. But you don't really.
There are some interesting fixtures in the groups. To be fair, you got to look at it. You go Scotland, Brazil sounds fun.
That'll be fun. I think
Australia, USA. That sounds quite fun as well.
Was it the Aussies and the Americans were really happy they got each other in that group? Yeah. I think I've seen videos and they're absolutely, chuffed that they're both. I have no idea. We're talking about like two fan bases.
I don't understand that at all. It's because of the time.
I just saw it and it was hilarious. But like, it just basically, I think they both think they've got a good draw because they both think they can beat each other. But yeah, just I saw that.
Oh, right, okay.
So they're happy. So
fair. But so. Ivory Coast, Germany sounds a bit fun.
I think they played each other once or twice before.
But it sounds fun, is what I'm saying.
2010, I'm pretty sure
Spain, Uruguay should be good.
Tell you what. Versus Colombia.
Yeah, no, that's not it. Do you know what does interest me? Right. Group I, right? It looks fascinating. France, Senegal, and obviously France and Senegal, for a number of people, they sort of share nationalities. A lot of those players.
There's a lot of Senegalese players.
There's a lot of links, right? Whoever wins playoff 2, so I don't know who that's going to be. But then the other team in it is Norway and Erling Haaland.
Oh, Haaland,
it's just nice to see finally, obviously, as we consider the best striker around, finally going to be in a World Cup.
I mean, I hope he gets out the group.
And I hope he's not too shattered after it'll be, at least he'll be able to. I think
after carrying this Man City side.
Yeah. I think Scotland. Now I only glanced at this. I may be wrong, so I'm willing to be proven wrong. But I'm pretty certain that one of Scotland's group games is at 2 a.m. I think they've been stuffed for one of their fixtures. I think England's latest one is 10 at 2 a.m.
We'll talk about the Scots here. They'll be fine.
They'll be grand.
Anyway.
10 o'clock.
And the next two games.
It's in America, remember?
Yeah, but England. But what I always love is they pandered to England, but they didn't pander to Scotland.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. You're right. They do pander to England, and then you still get someone like Matt Thurney going 10 o'clock. Oh,
hey,
this is an outrage.
It's like I sit in now, and my partner will go to me, should we start film? It's 8:30. You're pissed. No.
I tell you what, there are American viewers watching this that are going, I watch my Premier League at 9 a.m. in the morning, and you won't watch a World Cup game at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, for a few weeks. Yeah, cop on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the Scots are so pumped for the first World Cup since '98. I don't think that if
they won't care what time. Yeah, they absolutely. Don't care.
Yeah. They'd be up. They'd be probably, but yeah, they'd be fine. It's just like, if for me, I'd be like 10 o'clock, fine. That's good, no right time, but like 2 a.m, you're like, I just want to go to bed. But then it's like Scotland's first game.
Your sleep schedule. You just sleep all day, wake up at midnight, and go on the piss. You're grand.
Yeah, and tell your employers that you're not coming in next day because you're
exactly. You need to stay up for John McGinn hitting the winner as Scotland get a 2-1 win over Brazil.
Oh, that game!
Can't wait.
I love that game. That game weekend in my life for football. That's so good.
The older I get, and the longer Brazil go without like winning or even participating in a World Cup final, the longer it goes on, that I do sit there and go, this Brazil side, they haven't done anything in so long. It's been so long.
They're not
I
well.
think
2002 was the last one, wasn't it? The last win. Yeah.
I mean, I got to be honest. I'd rather Scotland, as much as people are sitting there looking at that group. Like, I would say it's obviously I'm not sitting as they're going to top it, but they've got a good shout. They've got a good shout to maybe get.
Be brave. Be brave.
No, I want to see it because obviously I have a soft spot for Scotland as well. So like, I would love it. But all I'm saying is, like, last time they played Brazil, they still one of the best international sides out there. Now they're playing a Brazil side that's basically just scraped. That, like, they were barely just got into this World Cup, right? So, and all I'm saying is, like, don't be surprised if in that group it doesn't go the way people think it will.
Hey, well, you know what? I want to go further than this, just because I'm guessing we're going to end in a minute, but I want to go further, right? Can we all throw out right now an early
winner,
rogue, not winner, more interesting than winner? What big team doesn't make it out of the group?
What big team? Hey, can I just have a look at the?
I don't have the groups up in front of me, but
get them up. Have a look if you can. For me,
for
me, there's two options, right? One that I think is quite likely, potentially. There's a chance that Mexico don't get out of the group in their own home tournament. Mm-hmm. Same with USA, right? But if we're talking big teams,
Germany.
No,
they went out last World Cup, didn't they?
I think there's a chance that if France don't really get their heads switched on, because Norway could beat them. Senegal could beat them if they're not switched on.
Who did Norway have?
Senegal came. Remember, this is a Senegal team that came to Nottingham and beat Thomas Tuchel's England team as well. They can turn up.
Oh, you defeat his dad, yeah.
No, I think France will win that group. To be honest, I don't know.
I think they're
interesting shout.
I was thinking Brazil because obviously, I mean, that's the obvious one. The
obvious one. Thiago possibly on the front line for could be.
Yeah, but then you're saying Morocco or Haiti make it through. Assuming Scotland win the group.
To be fair, I think we'll forget because obviously I think Morocco did get the semi-finals.
Mm. They did. Yeah. They got knocked out by France, was it? I think.
Yes, but I think it beat like Spain and all that stuff. Like, I remember watching that game. Like, they just got one goal and hold it out for the entire game. It's like, I remember that. It's like that was a really good World Cup, funny enough, even if wherever it was. But like, it's just yes, like we are talking about. It's not talking about like when we're thinking Morocco, we think, well, but then it's like, well, they said they got the semi-finalists last time, so they're still tough.
I'll put this out early. I hope Australia crash out of the group because I can't deal with the thought of any more Australia versus England pain. I'm not doing it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter.
What would he get in it in the cricket? We don't want it in our football.
I can't handle it anymore, to be honest.
I would go with. I'm going to go with Portugal.
It's interesting you said that because Portugal, for me, are the dark horses to win it. Uzbekistan and Colombia.
Was it Uzbekistan, Colombia, and whoever? I don't know who's going to win that.
Whoever, like, obviously, my opinion is based on whoever comes through that FIFA playoff one. I don't know, like, what match that may be.
Is that the Wales Northern Ireland one? If they get through their game,
is it?
It's not Ireland anyway. Because I don't think they're going to.
To be fair, I was devastated when they were drawn against Joe if they go on things. I'm thinking, well, I wanted all the home nations to be in the thing, but now it's like one.
So selfish.
I like what you say about Mexico hopefully not going through, Carl, because that would be the group that Ireland get into if we can get through the playoffs.
I think, and I really could be wrong.
Go on.
But I think playoff one is probably likely to be Jamaica. Yes. Portugal, yes. So it's likely to be Jamaica. Yep. So playoff one is in the African side of it. New Caledonia, Jamaica,
okay,
I'm
changing my mind. I'm changing my mind because I'm not going with that group now.
What's fascinating about that one is like, Steve McClaren was the manager of Jamaica, and then obviously didn't get him into the top of the group, and then he left.
So the UEFA side of it, so the UEFA playoff A bracket has Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Bosnia battling it out, right? So let's say Italy do win, right? Which is the big name. They join the group of Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland, which feels like a bit of a cop out. UEFA Playoff B, Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania will join the Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia in Group F. Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, or Kosovo could go into the US group with Paraguay and Australia. Ireland are in playoff D with Czech Republic,
Denmark.
North Macedonia, and Denmark, and they'd go into Group A with Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea. So actually, the playoffs are not really that exciting, is it?
Yeah, they're not. No. Okay, I'm going to change my mind. Actually,
Yeah, for me.
with that. I'm actually going to go with Egypt.
I said big
go with
teams.
Egypt.
That's a cop out.
Yeah.
No, I would say I'd say it's a big team.
Oh,
That's like Norway. That's like
See,
Norway.
Right,
we're
so
talking about
hang on,
World Cup winners, I guess.
Egypt are a big team, right? So are you penciling in a African Cup of Nations special that you will know everything about, Matt Thurney, as you watch all the Egypt's games?
Yeah, you know, like, I'm our scout. I'm the scout for this.
Is Egyptian, isn't he? I think.
Do you know
Mido
what?
was.
Actually,
I get what you're saying, but like I don't think that's like, because obviously when you think of like, you know, teams like big teams, you're thinking of obviously teams that.
Oh wait, Mohamed Salah.
Of course.
We've just done a whole.
How did you not?
Oh my! Oh god.
No, but I would
Marmoush as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then it goes. So right, notable footballers: Mohamed Salah, Omar Marmoush, and then it goes Ahmed Hegazi.
Oh yeah, what a player! What a player!
Is he the guy that was at Baggies?
El Mohammadi, the guy from home, is Egyptian?
I feel any subscribers from Egypt are just gone, you know what? I liked you guys, but now it's just like unsubscribing now. Like,
no, I think we need a serious answer from Matt Turner. You can't get away with Egypt tonight. Okay, so that's a cop out.
Can I actually just say, who did you say was the playoff one for Group B?
Hang on.
You say Italy? That was the one for Group B, wasn't it? Because it was Canada.
Yes.
You said that was a cop out. Yeah.
So you think Italy would make the playoff and then not make the group? Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's almost what I would say.
That's a fair one. I'll give you that.
Italy didn't make it of somebody who's not necessarily
miserable
right now. So I would actually go with Holland. I'm going to go with the Dutch.
So I did think about Holland. I could see them
because Japan, they always show up at a World Cup.
Tunisia is not easy.
That won't be an easy game. And who's the B? Like who's playoff B again?
I think like Iraq or something like that.
That was it.
Is it going to be like it's not going to be a shock like the last World Cup when Saudi Arabia beat Argentina?
Oh,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like they could pull off a shock if they beat.
Where are we? So sorry. Actually, no, you're right. Holland's a good one because the playoff winner will be one of Albania, Poland, Sweden, or Ukraine. Poland or Sweden would not be easy.
Yeah. I think Sweden are a light touch. I think Sweden would be kind of all right. Poland, I think, are not great either. Lewandowski doesn't really perform for Poland anymore.
I thought you were about to go down Carl's route and then go, they're not got any good players or anything like that.
No, I think Poland and Sweden are two sides, a classic example of teams that you think will do better than they do. I think they're light touches, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Holland for my one. Yeah, I'm going to go with Holland.
Yeah, I think.
But by the way, if Egypt go really far in this tournament. Just saying.
So what you're saying is if we done like one of those World Cup pools where you like just pick a random team and you get Egypt, you'll be absolutely buzzing. Basically, what you're saying.
Hey,
It'd be telling us that Liverpool made a huge mistake getting rid of Salah.
Yeah, all Egyptian, then Romania,
top scorer World Cup.
Like we're talking like the Pharaoh and everything right here. That's what we're talking. All right. Like I'm going all out. All Uzbekistan stuff behind.
You're gonna get the flag. You're gonna go and get the top somehow, and then you're gonna just go.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Carl's like, you are not, but yes, I am.
I tell you what. Do you know what I am really looking forward to when the American fans have an absolute meltdown when the US don't get out of the group. Oh, it's going to be hilarious. Because I tell you what, Paraguay, Australia, or we're saying potentially Turkey is that group.
They're finishing bomb.
Who was the last?
Let's be honest. If that's because this USA side is not.
They are not good. I mean, they beat Uruguay 5-1 in a friendly. All of a sudden, they beat Australia in a friendly.
And Pochettino, every time Pochettino's interviewed, he's like, "Are you coming back to the Premier League?" And he's always like, "Well, maybe." He's just so non-committal. Like.
I think after this tournament, he might. The way
Yeah,
he took
right,
it.
yeah.
They did
they
get to
got-
the Gold Cup final where they lost to Mexico. I don't know if that's any use. Saudi Arabia are in there, Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, it's basically
absolute powerhouses. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
whoever's gonna, if we're gonna do like a preview of each of these teams, this is gonna take a very long time and a lot of research this time.
No,
Oh
than it
yeah,
normally
can't
is.
wait.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because
I'll take Katie
I'll
Kirby.
sit there-
Because
no, I
Matt
don't-
Downey is English and he will not
No,
worry about anybody
no,
else
no,
but England.
It's not that. No, it's not that. But you guys know that I'm prone to an unpopular opinion, and I'll come out with something stupid like, "Oh, I've been researching Panama. I reckon they could get out this group."
Yeah, but
Hey, no, we've got
Panama
for
to win it,
for that
yeah.
alone.
500
us
to
out
1.
of this, Matt. That sounds like you're convincing us, not talking us out of it. Let's be fair.
No, I'm hearing this and going, this sounds
So
like a brilliant idea. This sounds like a good idea.
I can see
We
the
should do- we should really
thumbnail,
do
I
it.
can
No,
see the
it's not.
views, I can see the angry comments.
I am the same.
Yeah.
Look, I am the same person that before that 2014 World Cup, I sat there and said, Thomas Muller will win a Ballon d'Or before the end of his career. I mean, how wrong I was with that one, but
Hey, do you know what? At the time, I might have said that's not a bad shout.
We're talking about 2014,
Hey,
like yeah. I mean, that's not as crazy as it sounds.
Say,
but, like,
no.
he just lost the MLS Cup to Messi.
I mean, I
Like,
do hope.
come on.
One of the things I'm hopeful of with this World Cup, and it's a really minor thing, but it does affect your enjoyment of a World Cup as well, right? In the work pool, I pulled out Saudi Arabia for the last World Cup, right? And I was gutted. And then they beat Argentina. It was the best afternoon of the World Cup for me, right?
Wasn't the
And then
second
they
goal
did-
for Saudi Arabia was an absolute screamer as well?
Yeah,
I remember,
exactly.
I remember a really good
Then
one.
they did absolutely nothing. So I'm actually hoping for like a Norway or something like that. That just someone have a bit of fun in the tournament, pull some upsets off, and then lose at the quarterfinal
A
stage.
bit of a group. You want a bit of a group stage dark
So
horse.
maybe
you know,
England,
kinda.
maybe England actually.
Yeah.
So I
for
guess
team,
so is this officially saying that we're going to have some sort of, kind of like, what was it, pick a random team and you see what we get and then type thing, and then we're
Are
going
we
to
doing? Are we doing a
I think we
podcast
should.
poll? Is that what we're doing?
I think we
Yeah.
Yeah,
should.
we're gonna put
Yeah.
a podcast poll, and I will back that team all the way. I'm gonna get.
Let's take out all the
Yes.
favorites. Let's take out all the
Yes.
favorites and just
Yeah.
let's just
Take
pick
all,
No,
all the top
no.
seeds.
take out the
No.
top 8 favorites
I mean,
and let's
just-
just have
just-
that out
No,
there.
just do that to
just
me.
to point out that just when you said if whoever I get, I'm going to back all the way. I'll clip that. So basically, when the
Yeah.
World Cup comes along and you mysteriously, when they don't do well, you back down. I've got video evidence, mate. So you got
When
you gotta
he
stick with
sits
it.
there,
The
when
only-
he sits there
I'll-
and goes, I can't believe as England we've lost to Ghana. They're pathetic. They're an awful team. And we go, what? Didn't you pick Ghana in the
No, but it's like I just guarantee you, I'll get the draw and I will end up with like Jordan. And the only thing I know about them is that it's a unisex name. But other than that, I know nothing about Jordan.
Right, I think we should wrap up there before we
Yeah.
offend any more countries. Jesus Christ. Do you know what's hilarious about that, right? They're
What?
probably more offended by the idea of it being a unisex name in that country than anything else. So.
Yeah, good point. Right, let's really wrap it up there.
Right. Thank you for listening, everyone. Obviously, if you've got any thoughts on the World Cup, obviously leave them in the comments below. We do love to hear your thoughts as well on TikTok, like Instagram, all those platforms you've got. Please let us know your thoughts, especially on
All's
Dave about
equalised.
beard. We need to know if we need to
Alright,
stick
that's
with this
about
or not. Okay.
Can we also
Sorry,
get in the comments below some debate topics? We're
Yes.
trying to film as many sort of special episodes as we can. Give us something that Matt Thorney's going to call stupid and we can argue, because I like arguing with him. It's part of my weekly routine and we haven't really done it this week. It's a bit sad.
It's a nice stress reliever.
I can do it now if you really want me to, Carl.
Go
I
on.
can do it now,
Go
but
on,
with
go on.
No,
I mean,
no,
to be
no,
fair-
no,
to be fair,
because-
it's an
I-
hour and a half now, guys. We've got to wrap this up.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've got to get my beauty sleep. I mean, you don't get bags like these for
You've got to get ready for the World Cup. You got to get
I'm
ready
not
for like
touching
staying
it.
up late for the World Cup games, right? Got to get
Oh
started getting
yeah,
to sleep pattern, right?
I've got to get the practice in now. That's true. All right, take care, everyone. See you later. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.